Kiora didn't seem great due to the single Twiddle not being able to cast Aeve. I don't know that I would say Kiora didn't seem great. I mean, it's 0 mana. 0 mana, and it's like your kind of your main engine piece, or you know. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. Well, I think I want to try this version. I'll say at the very least, this is like something that's important to note. It might be true that Kiora is not optimal, but if Kiora is not optimal, like this is just an inferior deck, right? Because there's plenty of Breach Storm decks that we've worked on. There's plenty of Twiddle Storm lists. This is a marriage of the two, and this is like what we're working on here. So if Kiora is not optimal, this is just a failed project, right? Any room for Tolaria West? Tolaria West is a really good suggestion. Hold on. So Tolaria West finds you Summoner's Pact or Lotus Field, and just stacking is not that bad. 0 Graveyard Hate, is that correct in current mana? Storm decks like usually don't care to play Graveyard Hate because you just storm and kill your graveyard like Reanimator, dredge opponents. So like, I know like most people are like, I'm gonna build my sideboard. I need Graveyard Hate, I need Artifact Hate, I need Creature Hate. Yeah, and then Tolaria West being a Sylvan Scrying. I like the Tolaria West. I like the Tolaria West. I'm not sure exactly what we're cutting for it though. Well, I'll play it. You can also find Boseiju, Otawara. Maybe I'm supposed to play it over the Otawara though. I don't really want to cut a fetch land. The Otawara is maybe not great. No, we don't lose any play points for dropping a league. We haven't played any matches yet. Shave a cantrip. You could shaving a cantrip to go up a land for Tolaria West isn't bad either. Consider shaving 3. I would shave a Thought Scour before I shaved a Consider, because you just really you need 1 Thought Scour on the yard on turns where you start to churn through your deck. You don't need to play 4. You just like need to find like 1 over the course of the game. Yeah, but I think I kind of like being up to 22 lands too. And let's just like if the 22nd land is Otawara or Tolaria West, that's like not too bad of a place to be. We haven't tried Fate Stitcher. Fate Stitcher is on the table, I think. I think you need 2 Bitter Reunions so that you can actually... Bitter Reunion's also, like, a lot better in this build, too. But, like, so you can consistently find it on the turns you go off. Alright, could keep this hand with green mana. I think with no green sources, you have to mulligan. You have to work so hard. So we had to pass the turn there. We had to pass the turn. And then lose the Blood Moon, maybe. Maybe win. Alright, we get to use Goblin Guide as a scryer. Hopefully we didn't get Eidolon. That Grazer against Burn isn't, you know, the best, but we had to. Oh, well. Lucky me. I guess I'll cast the Scour this turn. It'll give me more information on... I'll get to use my card selection spell and Consider a bit better next turn. Twiddle's a really nice pickup. Is it possible a couple Tomb Scours could help with the Breach turns? I mean, that's all they would do. That's literally all they would do is help with the Breach turns. I think that they would make the deck worse overall, is my current opinion. I could be wrong. But that is all they do, is they go infinite with Underworld Breach, and then they do like literally nothing otherwise. I think that the idea here is that like with Thought Scour over Tome Scour, you get to go through a big chunk of your deck, and it's kind of hard to fizzle. And like you get to be in on that plan because instead of like just like grape shotting your opponent every single time, you can Aeve and put like a ton of power into play, and that's going to be enough, you know, a lot of the time, anyways. Is the thought. actually don't hate Misty Rainforest here. I guess I do have to fetch and shock and just graveyard it. Oh my gosh. I forgot to make red mana, and I could have saved it with the Misty. Fuck, sorry chat. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, as long as we can dodge Eidolon, we're still likely fine. Today's been such a mess. Because we could maybe Sylvan Scrying into Grapeshot. Red mana. Red mana. Don't I still win? Well, I don't win this turn. My opponent is playing, you know, they're playing Eidolon. Alright, so I think we cast Bitter Reunion, discard second Breach here. Worst case scenario, I can Sylvan Scrying for Tolaria West for Pact again, if I can just never ever find an Aeve. We have Force of Vigor and Leyline for burn, so I don't think that you need anything else. Okay, I just found one here. Summoner's Pact, cast Summoner's Pact, get Aeve. Twiddle twice. Yeah, we want mana after we Aeve, and we want, of course, the storm count to be as high as possible, but we want mana so that we can Twiddle again, and or I guess we just have the Bitter Reunion already in play. I think we very likely could have killed last turn if I had tapped correctly. Yeah, the T-West was a really good idea. Main deck Deflecting Palm for the draw. Deflecting Palm gets around Leyline of Sanctity, right? It would have been a turn 3 kill, but I messed up, so we had to get off the next turn. Just don't attack for 9/9. Yeah, I guess that's a way to play around it. I mean, I think we may, and just like taking the draw is also like somewhat okay, right? A lot of sideboard cards. Something like this. Yeah, Force can deal with Eidolon, Rest in Peace, and then like the Sulfuric Vortex thing. Although I guess Force of Vigor against that card is not great, because then they just deal you 4, 5. Yeah, being able to hardcast Leyline is nice for sure. Okay, Lava Spike. I like the Force of Vigor for an Eidolon. I do like, just kind of like this hand in general, I guess. Not sure if I need to. I don't think I need to force Eidolon right now. It would let me cast the Thought Scour this turn, which is maybe like just a good enough reason to pitch the Kiora. The Kiora is not too bad here, though. I guess what's nice about not forcing the Eidolon now is if they have a second Eidolon, I get to get both of them. And then also, of course, like the big draw is like drawing a card like Sylvan Scrying here instead, so guess we're kind of happy we waited. I think I blocked the Swift Spear. Well, I guess if I block Swift Spear, they're never casting spells in combat, huh? Okay. Might have Boros Charm up here. This was, you know, a point against waiting was Boros Charm. Do you lose the Supreme Verdict? I mean, not if you have Bitter Reunion. Alright, not sure how they want to stack these triggers. I guess I might need to keep the Kiora for another green card here, so we'll just scour ourselves here. Probably not playing a Lotus Field. Yeah, opponent's thrilled they get to Boros Trap. So we can Sylvan Scrying for Boseiju. Can Sylvan Scrying for Boseiju. Take 2 more damage, and if they, you know, flood out, we maybe have enough time. Or if we draw Underworld Breach pretty quickly. Okay, Rift Bolt me. So yeah, untapped land would be nice, so that we can Boseiju the Eidolon now and have the Grazer continue to block the Sorcery. They only have 1 card in their hand, though. I drew the Breach. Okay, so I can go Lotus Field for blue, Lotus Field for red, Underworld Breach. I think I'm 1 mana short of being able to. Too bad I can't pitch on my turn either, because I could go grip, breach, grip, grip into either Force or Scrying for Eidolon. Oh, Force is 4 mana though. Force is 4 mana. So what if I go grip, breach, grip 3 times? So that's going to be 5 mana down to 3 up to 5, and then I can hard cast Force of Vigor with a blue floating, and then I think I just don't have enough resources to do anything else is the problem. Because I have to use... So the Force will still be in the graveyard. Another grip will be in the yard. So I go Force, grip, exile 1, 2, 3. I just have to grip first. Grip, Force. Yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's close, though. So we're going to do the more kind of obvious line, I guess. Yes, Scrying for Boseiju is the easy line. I was just trying to see if we could win this turn. So don't have enough cards in the yard. Because I have to Dream's Grip before channeling Boseiju if I'm ever going to go off this turn. We'll see what happens. They have 2 cards in their hand. What are you blocking? I mean, you just always block Eidolon here. If they have two burn spells, I'm dead anyways, and that's the only way that like Swift Spear is better than Eidolon. Okay. So going down to 1. And now I can't Dream's Grip before Boseijuing. So I need to draw like Island or Forest to go off this turn, otherwise I just have to hope they have no burn spells. We're up a game, though. We still have game 3. Ah, dang. Somehow that one feels worse to lose to, although we're dead to, most spells here. Go to game 3, get to be able to play for game 3. Leyline would be really nice. This hand doesn't have a Leyline. We do have Boseiju for Eidolon. We have... In order to reunion, we have to, like, it's kind of painful. It's kind of a painful hand, right? Because either we can hold... We can play Boseiju for Grazer, which would be kind of nice, actually. And then fetch Shock with the Foothills. I don't have any basic mountains. I don't love having to play the Boseiju out. I don't love not having the Leyline. I guess I don't have to play out the Boseiju, but then my hand is pretty painful. My hand is pretty painful. I like mulliganing. I think it's close. I think it's I think it's hard to argue that it's not close at least. I'm gonna play the Boseiju as a land. I guess I put the Wooded Foothills in the... No, I played... That's close. So if I draw exactly Lotus Field, we could go off, but I think we need to try to go off turn 3 here. Magnet with the 26 months, thank you. Leyline I think is too important. Maybe. I mean, like, the thing about Leyline is it beats, like, the targeted burn spells, right? And, like, this hand also is likely to beat the targeted burn spells by just killing them before they can kill me with those. The problem is Eidolon. Not every hand can beat an Eidolon. They won't always be able to keep a hand with Eidolon. It's just, like, we have Force of Vigor in the deck for Eidolon, so it's just, I don't know, it's just tough. I can even maybe Twiddle tap their land if I draw, like, I don't know, Thought Scour, Lotus Field or something. Kind of bricked, I don't know. Magnet, again, think of it 26 months. I don't think we can Twiddle their land here. I don't think I have enough resources. Drawing Leyline is obviously, like, just always such a disaster. Rolling Vortex is fine. It's not really something that doesn't really stop any of my cards besides, like, the one Summoner's Pact. And I guess also the Force of Vigors too, huh? That was a good pickup. That was a really good pickup. I have to get the Lotus Field in play. But we're just a payoff away from winning. Could cast Leyline. Yeah, we could cast Leyline next turn. That's a good point. They'll buy us a lot of time, presumably. Pretty good against this suspended Rift Bolt. Alright. That's also, like, very good insurance here. We need to remember not to pitch cast it. If I have enough mana, I could also theoretically go Sylvan Scrying for Tolaria West for Pact, but we're probably a little ways away from that, right? Although my poor Arboreal Grazer is going to die to the Rift Bolt. Oh yeah, they are dealing themselves 5. Yeah. We're kind of winning the... Like, Rolling Vortex could unironically be our win con. Okay, probably a bit harder with this Goblin Guide, right? Oh, there's an Aeve. That should just be game. Yeah, it should just be game. Yeah, DRC is really strong. Okay, I need to actually remember to make red mana this time, so I'm just going to do that first. Vortex doesn't do anything against Storm, right? Yeah, it says cast, and you don't cast on Storm. Okay, not too bad. Got pretty lucky to draw that Scrying. Although we had, we had the Bitter Reunion to dig for it. No reason to play Force. I mean, the game's over. We could play Force. I guess, actually, we do need to play around Deflecting Palm. By only attacking with these. So they path this, they still died. They Helix, they die. Helix here, right, they take 9, yeah. Alright, not too bad. Deflecting Palm targets? I don't think it does. I'm like 99% sure it doesn't. It's like, just like a counter spell. Okay, maybe just turn 3 Aeve for a little. I like that we can turn 2, get a Lotus Field in play. That's on a mold to 6. Mold to 5. Grazer was a big addition. Like, it was really a card I wanted to play really badly in the other version. Who did they mold to 4? It didn't quite fit. That was a brew. I think we had a version earlier today that was worse. It's unyet to be determined if this deck is good, I think, but I think this version seems to be a lot better than the first one. We're not as weak to Boseiju, your land's untapped, you have fetch lands to fuel your breach more often, you get access to Boseiju to beat Blood Moon. It's gonna have Bolt for Grazer, huh? And then Grazer like not only like speeds up your like Goldfish kill, but it also you know blocks Ragavan, which is big for a combo deck. Alright, I'll cast Twiddle here. If they counter it, we'll just go off next turn. If not, I might just cast Aeve for 3 copies. Yeah, I guess I could have held the Scour for next turn. I think it's fine, just filling up the yard for Breach. I'm kind of surprised that they cast the counterspell there. I guess they must have another. But I'm thinking that like with them being on like a Mold of 5 and having their Ragavan blocked, they would want to maximize their counterspell, right? God.com, thank you for the 27 months. Hope you're doing well. Oh, well, I guess them wanting to cast their iteration is probably a good enough reason. Exile and Holy Heat, well, and then not even attack. Well, this is like one of the worst Murktide draws I've seen in the entirety of playing against the deck. Business the 14, thank you. I guess maybe I should be going Kiora into Aeve here. Trying to win this turn. Can Twiddle one more time if I fetch, which is probably correct. I mean, good enough even in all situations, even if we aren't able to go off here, which it looks like I don't think we would have been able to kill here. I don't know if we're doing Dark Souls later. I kind of wanted to take a break from it today. I don't know. I don't know how like bad it is to take a break though. We played it like all day yesterday. I got like a good PB. I kind of wanted to let it sit in. But like also, if we are playing Dark Souls today, it'll be like not connected to the Magic stream because I need to have lunch if we're gonna play. Why not leave a red floating? I guess I should have left a red floating. Yeah, I mean, I really don't want to lose the momentum. This weekend's also tough because like I have Channel Fireball obligations to do this weekend, and I'm making my like one like set review video, and so there's just a lot to do. And so like doing that on top of like prepping for next week's stream, on top of like it's gonna be tough to also fit in the Dark Souls stuff this week, but I want to. I'll keep this. I like that we can block a Ragavan. I like that we can get a basic forest into play against Blood Moon. We're on the draw. Does just some mess up A by removing non-legendary clause? No, you see it's all the same except you don't get tokens. That's the only difference is you don't get tokens when they just on your Aeve. Have I ever done a full deprive run? No leveling, no weapons, no armor, just fists. I don't know if anybody's ever done no leveling, just fists. I would even think that there's no way it's even possible, right? Like you probably could not beat the 4 kings that way. Of the iteration, I'll cycle my Veil, I guess. Yeah, you can use code SPIKE to get a discount on the TCG player purchases. All right, so yeah, I'll be cycling a Veil of Summer here, I think. Oh, they have a lightning bolt. I don't think there's anything I can draw, I guess, that can really influence my play here, though. Grazer lets me start blocking again, I guess. Okay, not a good draw. Thank you, Ragavan. What's my favorite Souls game? I don't know. I think like for all of them, there's like different things I enjoy. Like Dark Souls 1 is the most replayable. Elden Ring is maybe like the most fleshed out. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but Sekiro has the best combat system. Dark Souls 3 is, you know, maybe the best lore-wise. I don't know. Dixon, Twiddle, Mustang, thank you. They're all really good. They all have their own strengths. That's one thing that's really good about this series is that even though, like, you know, there's similar systems, they all do, like, I think, like, different things really well. Except for Dark Souls 2. I don't know. I have a good friend. Her favorite one is Dark Souls 2 by a lot. But also, like, it was her first one, so... everyone's always blinded by their first Souls game. Yeah, third iteration. They may have surveilled or looted one of them away, though. I think that they did. Guess we can graveyard that and maybe breach it back. We need to find a Lotus Field. Shocking here is kind of aggressive, but I think there's a good chance they counter Kiora. Okay, they didn't counter Kiora. Alright, if we can find Sylvan Scrying or Lotus Field, we should be able to beat one counterspell. I might just cast Breach next turn too. They'll probably counter Breach. Then we can Veil, and then, you know, it gives us extra looks. We of course don't have that much time left either. Don't think we were really ever beating two counterspells from the spot, although they're, you know, somewhat likely to have them. You want to respond to the Surveil trigger here, so they get like one less look at another counterspell. Maybe just leading on Veil of Summer is also correct, but the upside of like getting like here, getting to get an extra look towards Lotus Field is also really valuable. So obviously start off with a Consider. Lotus Field, Lotus Field, Lotus Field. 19 cards deep, haven't seen one. No such luck. I can technically, if I can still find one off this next Consider, and then I can cast Grazer from the yard, but I think I'm most likely just to like, I guess I should Scour. 1, 2, 3, because then I can Grazer and leave a card in the yard. Or I'm gonna need. I should rather say I need to escape this turn anyways. I need to escape an Arboreal Grazer. It's happening. Maybe leaving Sylvan Scrying was better there. You ever escape an Arboreal Grazer, chat? Through the fourth breach. I did the bolt. We are up a game though. All right. Hopefully that's good enough. F6, huh? So hopefully they don't connive into lightning bolts or counterspell, but mostly lightning bolts. Sack Foothills. I mean, I guess thinning is relevant, but yeah, I know I can get another card in the yard. I just didn't think there was a reason to do it now, but yeah, you're right. Getting a card in the thinning is relevant here. So we want a Kiora for storm count. Also, I guess card count in the yard for breach, of course. They have a lot of flyers. This is not a definitive kill. We get to draw some cards here, and if we find, I guess we only have one Bitter Reunion in the deck too. Maybe I wonder if casting, like basically cycling breach, was ever worth it here. Not sure. So I can go Sylvan Scrying for Pact. Sylvan Scrying for Pact for Grazer. I guess that's better. If I go Sylvan Scrying for Tolaria West, I can Twiddle again, but it's still not enough mana. I just really wanted to Pact for Grazer, chap. They have 4 cards in their hand. One of them's a Ledger Shredder. Still dead to a Lightning Bolt. They're fetching the thin on their upkeep without. I don't know if this is correct because like they may be able to tank a hit and just kill me with the flyers. Petty Theft by Grazer. Best card in Modern. Okay, get to play game 3 on the play. That was tough. That was really tough. Savor the moment. Savor the moment. That's to take an extra turn, skip your untap step, right? I don't think that seems very good. Just seems like it's like 0 mana cycle that doesn't. It's really about the storm count, right? This deck is so janky. I just don't know how to transition to like Saffron Olive's audience where the chat's like, this deck is so janky. Maybe that is what you're saying. But how do we go from this deck is so janky to this deck is so janky? Like how does that happen? I think I kind of leave the forest in the deck so I can like channel Boseiju. Longer beard, yeah, maybe. That maybe is what you're saying, but how do I get the rest of the chat? Yeah, I guess I just have to never successfully brew, huh? Just that easy. I feel like in these spots I like almost always prefer to cast Ragavan. Just miss out on 2 damage and have it start making mana for me every turn after instead of taking mana. Oh, wow. The one time I want my Murktide opponent to have a Spell Pierce, they don't have it. Turn 3 with Veil Summer, though. Yeah, I'm mostly just goofing around. I like actually understand. I don't know. We're also about to be 2-0 in this league. I think that the first version was bad. This is like what Brewing is like. Yeah, first draft, good ideas, bad ideas. I think that the second version has a lot more potential, though. Otawara for Double Storm? Oh, that'd be sick. Opponent has not. Okay. What can they find here? What can they find off Expressive Iteration? Mishra's Bauble, White Land, and the Terminus on top after that, which they could set up with their Dragon Rage Channeler. Yeah, Echoing Truth would be good here. Brazen Borrower would probably win them the game. I can keep this, I guess. Probably not supposed to mulligan it. A lot of Yawgmoth today, huh? Giant Arbor. I'm gonna fetch my upkeep to thin. Probably, you know, it doesn't matter too much. Right, well, we need payoff. Didn't find any with my cantrips. We found the Lotus Field though, thankfully. We need, I guess the problem is, like, in this spot, we can either draw like cantrips into Aeve. Underworld Breach is, you know, easy dub. Ooh, Arboreal Grazer, really putting in all the work. I don't do this very often, but we still win if we draw a breach. Or cantrip into a breach. Maybe we should play this to then. But I think I'm like very, very cold to a Yawgmoth here with the Arboreal being able to give them so many activations. I think that the tap a land line is correct, and maybe even is correct next turn too, because I'm mostly just drawing to breach. Okay, so I can go Sylvan Scrying for Tolaria West. Sorry, I meant to go green blue. Today's been too long. Okay, for Tolaria West. And then I can go up to 4, 5, 6 mana, which is not enough for my purposes. Yeah, I think I'm really still in, like, find a breach next turn or bust. You know, we can obviously still cantrip into it, potentially. But I don't think that like Aeving for 3 is gonna win this game. Is there a creature that would be a good Pact target situations you don't have access to storm count? I've looked, I haven't found one. There's not like a good creature that can like untap my Lotus Field with an ETB trigger or like make mana. Alright, this is lethal, right? Yeah, this is definitely lethal. Yeah, Imposter plus Undying Creature plus Yogg plus Artist is... Okay, so we've been bringing in the Leyline of Sanctities against Yawgmoth. Stop Endurance, Blood Artist, Thoughtseize. Seems like Blood Artist is getting pretty popular these days. Something like this. Yeah, so much today. Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Well, you can't even pact for Vizier. You can only pact for green creatures. Yeah, no Tinder Wall. I mean, I think we have to keep. This hand is so close to going off, and it has a Leyline. Like if like the second Lotus Field is like almost any other card, or you know if the forest is an island, this hand is just like snap keep. And I think your hands with Leyline like this, you just have to keep and hope that this either slows your opponent down enough that you're able to go off, or that you top deck well. I don't think you can. You really have the luxury of mulliganing this hand. Maybe they'll Boseiju my Leyline too. Alright. One more draw. Okay, awesome. Might as well. I think we'll consider now finding Grazer would be really good. Well, not that good. not. Don't want it that badly. Hopefully their hand is like all Thought Seizes. Tool or bust. I mean, a Twiddle off the top does win us the game, but if my opponent doesn't have Yawgmoth this turn, like we just get another turn. Play Muddle the Mixture to transmute Breach or Scrying. Dude, Muddle the Mixture is so bad. That card is it. Like not only is the fact that it's like this 3-mana tutor so bad, but the biggest issue with Muddle the Mixture is that it just tells your opponent exactly what you're gonna do next turn. That's the big problem. All right, so we found the Dream's Grip. We're insulated from Endurance. We have the land to go Breach plus Grip next turn. Hopefully they don't have anything, or anything that they do have is shut off by the Leyline. Oh, what are they courting for? 3? Why are they only courting for 3? Must have something else. Ah, oh, damn it. Good beats, good beats. 2 and 1. Forever brewed Electro Dominance for Belief and Living End. Belief and Living End, with the archetypes from B and G. Born of the Gods. I think you're in too deep. You have to be in on either Living End or Resurgent Belief. I think. I don't think it's good to be in on both. Keep was rough. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can mulligan that hand. I really don't. I mean, yeah, I looked at Magus of the Candelabra. It's just like not playable. All of a sudden, like, your deck that's resilient to removal, you're playing just like this 1-mana Lightning Rod. Yeah, I looked at, like, last night, every single way you could untap untap a permanent in Modern, and I was really wishing that Emerald Charm was legal. A green Twiddle would be so good in this deck. Up against a Gigantha. It's a good draw. Yeah, Emerald Charm is the name of the green Twiddle. It's not legal in Modern. It's a legacy only card. It's like untap target permanent, destroy target world aura, and like target creature loses flying till end of turn. But you know, obviously, mostly just for the twiddling. Alright, Grazer would give me a pretty likely turn 3 kill. I might be able to kill on turn 3 without it. I need like a Grazer or a Twiddle. Okay, there's a Twiddle. Play this now, so if I do draw Grazer. I think I'm just gonna graveyard that. Could have been okay, but like they're playing Gigantha, so they don't have Counterspell, and I can probably pay for Spell Pierce, right? And then you want to graveyard, you know, as aggressively as you can, of course. So then they're playing Gigantha, Wrenn and 6 Bauble. I guess they're just like Temur Saga. Not the scariest deck, really. Cloudy Days, 3 months. Thank you. Get one Spell Pierce out of the way. Well, their deck plays a lot of Boseiju, so I'm glad we're on this version instead of the previous one. Would this deck play Bauble for a free card in the yard? Well, I mean, to answer your question, would I play Bauble in this deck for a free card? The answer is obviously not, because I'm not playing Bauble, right? I think that, like, with DRC and Bobble, that becomes a pretty good engine for Underworld Breach. It's an okay card selection package. The problem is, like, when DRC is your only creature, you're like a lot more vulnerable to removal. Obviously, you can do it that way, but with all these Twiddles and with the Kiora package, and like the Grazer Scrying package, I don't know how you would fit Mishra's Bobble into the deck. You know, that's also the issue. Thank you, Nick. Glad you're liking the stream. All right, let's go red and then untap here. Can pretty easily pay for Spell Pierce. Might as well Kiora first and tap. I think we're going off turn 4 through a Spell Pierce after my opponent's already Spell Pierced me, which is pretty exciting. So I need to check if I can Twiddle again or if I just have to cast Aeve now. Okay, with having drawn a Twiddle, I definitely can. I can also Kiora for Storm counts. And another card in the yard. Guess I'm also probably gonna Grazer for Storm count. Not that they definitely had the extra Spell Pierce, but it is cool that after getting Spell Pierced on turn 3, we could have beaten another Spell Pierce the entire journey here. Should have kept Grazer to pitch the Reunion. No, I'm gonna have cards to pitch the Reunion. I pitched a useless Lotus Field also. Storm count would be. I mean, you don't have to discard a card to give creatures haste either. Scrying for Otawara. I'm just gonna attack my opponent. I'm just gonna attack my opponent. Put him to negative 62, and not not Aeve again just for fun. So I think I just bring in like 3 Veils, and like. I don't even think I need their Reunion at all. Their deck is so slow and they play all ground creatures. Maybe I always need to keep in the Summoner's Pact in this kind of matchup, especially for the Tolaria West. We'll try that. Next up, this version has been feeling so much better. I think it looks a lot better too. I really wish I had found it before today's stream, and in that regard, I guess I failed y'all, chat. And then I succeeded, y'all, in building this version, maybe. Yeah, better than finding it tomorrow. Glad we persevered. What do you think Breach was underrated for so long when it was one of the best cards in Modern? We've had this conversation several times. It's a combination of a few different things. So, like, one thing was, like, I don't think that the Fair Breach decks could have thrived a ton in the, like, Lurrus metagame. I think that the Lurrus, like, Rakdos and Grixis Shadow decks were, like, pretty good counters to Breach as an archetype. Or, like, Fair Breach more specifically. I guess I keep this. Kind of close. I think that's kind of like a factor. Beyond that though, it's like Modern is an underexplored format. Modern is like an underbrewed in format. underexplored in general, which is like why I'm able to do what I do. But it's also true, like, the Breach grinding station deck has existed for a long time, has generally been accepted to be a good strategy for a long time. But most people only thought of Breach, like, as a card for grinding station combo. I've been playing Breach and Prowess for a really long time, and other people have been playing Breach and Prowess for a really long time. But it's been, like, it's kind of been, like, unrespected. Like, most people just don't, like, really... like believe very much in those versions, I guess. 3 Aves, huh? Well, let's find a Kiora. Our Breach deck's really taking over seems to be overblown. I mean, I guess what do you define as taking over? They're like becoming one of the top strategies in the format, but they're like one of like 5 to 7 decks you could consider like a top strategy in Modern. There's also, like, one problem with the Fair Breach decks is there's a million versions of them, and they're not, like, homogenized at all. But, like, it is, yes, just true that, like, the, like, Fair Breach decks, like, mid-range Breach decks were pretty underexplored for a long time, and one thing, actually, to, like, even counter my point about, like, the Lurrus decks, too, like, Lurrus would have been a really good companion to play in the Fair Breach deck. So it's just a combination of those things, I think, that make up what we're talking about here. I'm gonna wait one more turn, I think. But just for how big and wide Modern is as a format, and how like prevailing opinions tend to be kind of down on the viability of Brewing in this format, like the format is just pretty underexplored. I mean, it takes a long time to be able to brew in any format. Like, it takes a lot of time and energy and money and experience to be able to brew in a format. So like, it's understandable, but you know, it also is. Big draw step. And I think a big draw. Then they kill my Grazer? Nope. You may be from a different dimension where they did. You may have just been Mandela affected into this dimension where my Grazer didn't die, but my Grazer didn't die. Oh, you're saying they didn't ping? Yeah, they maybe should have pinged. Hey, Clyde, how's it going? Like, underexplored tier 2, 3 decks are generically underexplored because it feels like we know the best decks. There isn't much room at the top. I mean, generally underexplored. Like, to say this part is really funny. We generally know the best decks. There isn't much room at the top. When, like, for the longest time, like, Creativity was a deck that people thought was just, like, fringe playable, kind of a meme, a deck that, like, just wasn't that competitive. And then it started winning tournaments, and now, like, Creativity is, like, talk of the town, one of the best decks in the format. It was like that with Hammer Time. It was like that with Creativity. It was like that with, like, almost all of the top... Like, the Breach decks, too, for the longest times, were not just, like, considered a top deck in the format at all. The Scam deck, too, is another great example of a strategy that, like, for a long time was just really unrespected. A deck that, like, people thought... was not good. I guess we're waiting a turn. 1 mana short of Aeving for 3 here. Domain Zoo too, another deck that's like pretty good right now and is just like slept on for a really, really long time. Yes, Scam was slept on. Like, Scam was a deck that was like, you know, maybe pushed into the metagame because of the Lurrus ban in a big way. But to say that, oh, we know the decks in the format is just not true, in my opinion. And with as big a card pool as exists in Modern, and with cards constantly coming in, it's just always going to be, you know, subject to change. I think I have to wait one more turn. Blacks, 14 months, thank you. Like, Prowess is another great example. Prowess is an insane deck in Modern. It's incredibly powerful. It's, like, as good as all of the best decks in the format, in my opinion. Like, I would say, like, Prowess is as good a tournament choice as Murktide, Hammer Time, Creativity, Rhino, Scam, Burn, Yawgmoth. It's also, it's, like, not on this list. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not, like, that popular. But the deck is insane. The deck is insane. And it's, like this, like, Goldfish is not even, like, a good representation of the field, I'd say. But there's like a lot of elements like this that, like, there are a lot of, like, really powerful decks that just are not that popular because people only want to play Murktide. Red Green Food, I think, is also really, really good. I think it's, you know, more of a metagame type deck, but, you know, still, like, a deck I like a lot and would recommend to, you know, people who like those kind of strategies. I could wait another turn. If I just draw one more colored source of mana, we're in really good shape, but I'm going to cast this. I mean, I'm going to pay. Can't really do anything, though, if I pay. I guess I can cycle Veil of Summer. Oh, yeah, so I can go cycle Veil of Summer. If I draw a red source, I can cast Breach, which won't do very much, but it's not going to do very much anyways because the Haywire might. Or I play normal lands now. To get Grazer, to have better mana, to be more resilient to Boseiju. And we lose the cool Harvest tech, but that's okay. Do you think the Yorion ban helped Prowess get back to meta? Yeah, I think so. I think that the Yorion was, like, good against Prowess as a deck, but, like, we were playing Prowess with Yorion being legal and, like, having success with it even back then. All right, so we have a reach blocker for one of the flyers. We'll chump block here, take 3, dead the lightning bolt. But if we draw a, I guess it can't be fetch land for island, and it can't be fetch shock. So we have to draw, like, breeding pool or steam vents. And that's not great. We're also up a game, so we can win game 3 on the play. I think, like, another good example too is, like, the 8 blast, like, Galvanic Blast, Shrapnel Blast deck. Like, that's a deck that, like, we brewed up, like, a year ago, and, like, other people were playing similar decks a year ago, and then, like, it hasn't changed almost at all. And then Caleb Schur top 8's the challenge with it, and now it's, like, really popular and winning a lot. And I think that there's a lot of decks like that like, I put out and other people put out, and, like, I just don't play that many tournaments. A lot of people don't play, you know, people just don't play that tournaments. Like, there's not that many people playing these decks either, so they're not that likely to finish in the tournaments because there's only, like, 1 or 2 people ever on them. But, like, decks like this that can really fly under the radar for a long time. Yeah, we would have been super dead if they had killed the Grazer earlier. But it pings me to turn off my steam vents outs, I guess, which is true. That's also an out. Doesn't beat another Spell Pierce, but thankfully they used 2 last turn. How many more Spell Pierces can they ever have? I guess I shouldn't answer that. But we can even go off, I think, in response to Haywire Might on my Breach. I also have a second Breach if they have, like, another, if they have, like, a Boseiju or something. Can you fix elves? I thought I had a pretty good elves list recently. It's gonna get better with Tyvar. I mean, obviously elves is still, like, a archetype that struggles with the removal in the format, but goblins and merfolk are also, like, 2 really good tribes that people don't play. Both those decks are really viable. So yeah, I just like, pretty strongly disagree with the somewhat prevalent attitude that, oh, we already know what the top decks are. It's just really never how it works, even. Maybe just cast second Breach instead of doing anything else here. Okay, this is great. I have a forest, right? Okay. Need to make sure to float mana here, huh? Blue. I I don't think we're doing any Dark Souls today. I kind of feel like I need to take a day break. Yesterday was awesome, though. Okay, there's Kiora. So I can go... Cast Kiora. Untap. Guess we should just fetch. We need one more card in the yard, huh? So float a blue mana so we can find a Twiddle. Oh, wait. I cited out my bitter reunions. Maybe they'll concede. Maybe they'll concede. Oh, tap their team? Yeah, I guess that works too, huh? Couldn't you have tapped the blockers and attacked? Yeah, well... Yeah. Hmm. So I can legend roll Kiora. Can do that twice, which will let me twiddle again. Can still double Grazer, attack down Ren. Yeah, I'm just trying. Can I like really not win here? So I can cast Aeve again and draw like the rest of my deck. The problem is I'll have no mana floating after that. So I have 4 attackers. Rin dies if I send everything there. I only have 1 Grazer actually. I only have 1 Grazer to block the 2 flyers. So that doesn't even work either. Transmute, Pact for Grazer. So Twiddle, Transmute, Pact for Grazer. Use the rest of the 2 mana to... Tap 2 there, guys. I can't. I don't have enough. I can only twiddle once. If I could twiddle twice, I wouldn't have that problem. How do we kill Ren? We have 4 attackers. They can all kill Ren here. I am happy, however, that we found the Pact for Grazer line. We found the spot to Pact for a stupid Arboreal Grazer, which was on my bucket list. Then to another Ren 6, which I think it's like that's a bolt Ren 6. Any bounce spell. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for my opponent to have a second Ren 6 in hand, but I think this was our only line besides like the line that like won the game. The line that won the game, which was just twiddle their blockers, which I don't know that we could have actually done, but we probably could have. Well, they don't have Borrower because they have Gigantha, so at least we're not going to die to Borrower again. Thoughts on running Yavimaya to enable fetches? Not really that into it. All right, they're looking for a bolt. They're looking for a bolt. Which Breach variant would I recommend? Jeskai, Teamer, or Fair? I've been having more success with like the Fair Breach decks. Like I like the list I trophied with, honestly. The blue-red one. The problem is that deck's like not that good against Murktide. But like I think it may be like it's like I think it compensates in other spots, and you can also just beat Murktide. It's not that bad either. Like Murktide's not that good against Murktide either, I guess. Alright, so did they find a lightning bolt? Game 3. Yikes. No, they drew it off the bobble. Yeah, they could have cast it before I paid for Pact. I don't know. It's correct for them to like let me pay for Pact though. Or is it because if I can't pay for Pact, I die? Doesn't really matter.
Would you like some?
Yes, thank you. How do you decide how many lands you want to deck? It's kind of like there's not a simple answer to what is. That's an incredibly complicated question. I do it from experience mostly. I'm not always right, but it's mostly experience and like just spending the last like almost 4 years of my life brewing in Modern every single day. Modern specific also is like has some of the most unique deck building of any of the formats, where it really plays Magic in a different way from Standard and Pioneer and Limited, where your curves are lower and you have cards that incentivize you to play less lands and more lands. It's it's a fun and complicated format. All right, got a mod redemption. Very cool. Has fetch lands basically, yeah, more or less. All right, so can we beat a Spell Pierce this turn? Well, not Spell Pierce on the first thing. And they should Spell Pierce the first thing if they can, so. Just pass. Sorry, Nuzzy, it's not like become mod and then abuse the privileges. I'm unmodding you. If a moderator wants to re-change the, undo the changes Nuzzy just made. Shortest modhood ever. If someone who is still a moderator can refund the 1,000,000 channel points. Am I joking? I'm sorry. I missed I saw that Nuzzy immediately went clear chat, 1 month follower only, 30-second slow mode. I don't. Were all of those things intentional, or is Nuzzy are you just trolling? You know what I mean? I think it was an accident. I didn't do anything. You did though. You did do those things. I see in the chat that you did those things. Okay. I'm so generous. I'm so generous and kind. I'll re-enable your modhood, but just warning, please don't touch buttons. Please. Refunded points. Oh no. Okay, free modhood. Or maybe I would. Okay, that's a ban. Sorry. How do you get to 1,000,000 channel points just trolling? It's crazy. I'm kind of laughing, but it's also bad, you know. It is what it is. I think that was me. Oh my gosh. They got framed? You're kidding. You're kidding. I gotta scroll up. Why is Mayo doing it though? Oh my gosh, this is such a disaster. Thank you for removing the ban. I think you're right. I think it was Muzzy was framed. How not, immediately like setting the record for times modded and unmodded. What that this is, especially on a day like today. I was thinking about pacting for Aeve to get 2 more storm count. That may have been good. That may have been correct. There's a button called shield mode that enables all of those things at once. And slow mode 1 shield. I see, I see. I remember Evan yesterday like accidentally put that on too. I guess it's just easier than it looks. All right, one last redemption arc for Nuz. Modded again. Please, 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 no. Nothing. Modded, unmodded, banned, unbanned, remodded. Oh boy. Yeah, like how do you ever resist the urge to do it again? It's just like, I don't think I could. I don't think I could. I believe in you, Nuz. I believe you could resist the temptation. Alright, so we have to draw a land or Twiddle. Okay, to Aeve this turn. Twiddle's really good. Alright, so I don't want to cast the Veil of Summer because I want to be able to keep twiddling after this. The Lantern, you know, stopping Breach makes things harder, of course. Alright. We're 3-1. We're 3-1. Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. Yeah, Evan messed it up yesterday. Dude, God, no. It was... I've never seen the belief so low. I've never seen the belief so low. We beat Murktide. We beat Burn. Beat the stack. There's the confidence is at an all-time low today. All right, let's get a 4-1 prediction going, though. Around the draw. But they're pretty good ham. Pretty good ham. Burn again. Well, I beat Burn earlier. Is Weatherstorm too cute to try to show up aggro matchups? Well, it's not good against aggro decks. It's good against Burn. We already have Force of Vigor and Leyline coming in. So I think you don't need it. Could possibly win on turn 3 if we find a Twiddle. Maybe a turn 4 hand. On the draw against Burn, kind of tough. Hope they don't have Idle on. Things are getting big for the Twitch Prime. Are they thinking about Rift Bolting my Grazer? They might be. Okay, Searing Blaze the Grazer. But we're happy to have Dodge Eidolon, really. Still have an island to fetch. Yeah, so if we can go like Reunion, discard a Breach, find a Twiddle, float a red. Oh, come on. Damn it. Damn. Okay, so we can go take 2 down to 9. Take 2 down to 5. Otawara. Well, that's bad. If only this was Boseiju, right? What can we even beat? All Searing Blazes in hand? We don't even beat that. How do you feel about including Burn? I don't think Breach is good in Burn. You could play one copy. One copy is probably okay. But like you mostly like don't want a card that's only good if you have 4 mana in Burn, I think. Yeah, even Blaze is gonna kill me, right? Tough stuff, tough stuff. Yeah, I think one copy of Breach and Burn might be fine, but I think for the most part you don't want it. We do have Leylines and Forces. One, 2, 3. I think I need 2 Scours for the Breach turns. I think I need all the Grazers. I think I need at least 3 Kiora.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Is Fluster worth it? I think we're already bringing in 8 cards. I don't think we can afford to also bring in Flusterstorm. Okay, we'll keep this. We keep not having Leyline against Burn either, but I think this hand's good enough. We have Force of Vigor. We have potentially the ability to transmute for T West. We have Reunion on turn 2. So a mold of 6. Worst case, yeah, there don't have to be like all 3 mana burn spells. Pretty, I don't know. And then like Skewer still kills me in that spot. Just didn't look too good, huh? This hand's pretty good though. We can answer Eidolon this time. Okay, so last time I got by Boros Charm. This doesn't play very well around second Eidolon, but ooh, we can also just draw a Dream's Grip. We don't really have a payoff though. I think I need to reunion this turn. Okay, and then with the T West in the yard, I also can't use Sylvan Scrying as a payoff either. I get the fancy. I don't think I've seen the fancy Secret Lair Lotus Fields. I would maybe I mean, Bird would be a 3 CMC burn spell. Yeah, I mean that's pretty bad, right? It would not be good at 3 CMC. It'd be good at 4 CMC, right? So the only time it's good is when it's 4 mana. Yeah, if only we still had the Tolaria West in our deck. Damn it. I guess I'll grab Boseiju. I can get Otawara and then Otawara back my reunion. Potentially. Oh yeah, I also boarded up the Summoner's Pact. Yeah, true. I could also Dream's Grip the Swift Spear. Okay. I'm definitely gonna do it now. Could draw a Leyline 2 maybe not. Just really need to draw Thought Scour. We trimmed pretty bad on our cantrips, which is like, you know, this is the problem with boarding this low on cantrips, I guess. So if I play Leyline of Sanctity, I'm dead to Boros Charm. I think I'm supposed to play it here. It'll very likely buy me a turn. Otherwise, I could go like, damn it. But otherwise, I could have gone like Twiddle, Breach, Twiddle, Bounce, Bitter Reunion, play, Bitter Reunion. All right, 3-2 league. I don't know. I really like regret not finding this version of the deck before this morning. I think this version is much better than the version we had this morning. How good it is, I still don't know. I'm honestly like reluctant to play again, due to like chat reaction, but you know, shout out to all the doubters. Why not tap Spear again? I was tapping out, right? I didn't have any mana available, I thought.